guys, this is a general reading for the collective for the Sun and Venus conjunction, which will perfect on the 22nd of October. So lots going on in the last 10 days of October, the last third of the month, pretty active. So I'm going to go through all of that with you, and then I'll do a reading for the Sun and Venus conjunction. But here's what's going on. I've got some notes because there's a lot going on. We've got the conjunction on the 22nd between the Sun and Venus in the sign of Libra, final degrees of Libra. They're traveling together through those final degrees right before they move into Scorpio on the 23rd together. Scorpio, we then have the Scorpio new moon with a solar eclipse on the 25th, which begins eclipse season. And then on the 27th, we have Jupiter retrograde re-enters Pisces and then stations direct on the 27th. We've got Mars in Gemini going retrograde on the 30th. So we've got a lot of activity. We also have Saturn stationing direct in Aquarius on the 23rd as well, just as the Sun and Venus enter 0 degrees of Scorpio. So lots going on. Will likely impact air and water signs the most. We have a lot of energy in air. We're going to have a grand trine in the air signs. A lot of energy with Scorpio and the water sign, Pisces with Jupiter. So just so you know, if you're an air sign or a water sign, I'm talking about your sun mainly. This could be a more impactful phase of the journey for you in these last 10 days. But we're going to talk mostly about Venus and the Sun. So right now, as I record this on the 19th, Venus and the Sun are each squaring Pluto in Capricorn at 26 degrees of Libra. And Mercury, which is also in Libra, is opposing, so it's opposite from where there's some tension, with Chiron, the wounded healer, at 13 degrees. So what does this feel like? It feels like tension. It feels like pressure is building. It feels like maybe misunderstandings or our sudden awareness of how shadow is operating in all around themes of relationships and partnerships. That's the domain of Libra. So Venus is in her home sign in Libra. It's one of the signs she rules. She rules Libra and Taurus. So we're focusing on the Libra energy. That's 7th house of relationships and partnerships. And she will be what we call Kazemi. Kazemi is a literal translation would be in the heart of the sun at 29 degrees of Libra. I know, so beautiful, right? 29 degrees of Libra on the 22nd. At that, as she approaches though, around about 27 degrees, as she approaches the 29th degree, she starts receiving, I'm talking about Venus here, new light, new inspiration, new awarenesses, and consciousness from the Sun in Libra. So we get the benefit of that. We get that new awareness. The light is being, like the floodlights, as I like to say, the Klieg lights come on, and we see how shadow has been operating in our relationships, where we may have communication breakdowns, where we're not understanding one another. And then together, with the Sun in Libra, Venus then shines the light on the Libra areas of your life. So you want to check what house Libra is in your chart. Doesn't matter if there are planets there or not. It's an area of life that will be where you will most likely receive the most downloads, the most illumination, the most raised consciousness, and it's going to bring up more for you to understand around Venus themes and energies in your own chart. So you want to find the house that Libra is in. You also want to find where Venus is. So I'll give you an example. I have Libra is my third house of communication. Okay, perfect. I also have Venus, the planet, in Leo, first house. So there are Leo themes there that I have to pay attention to, first house themes from my natal chart, but mainly the area of life I'm operating on and getting awarenesses around is all about communication in matters of the heart, in relationships, in partnerships. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of use myself as an example. So Venus is being strengthened by these light codes, receiving downloads from the sun. Then they move together into Scorpio on the 23rd, where we enter the energies of empowerment. So this supports us in terms of transforming any fears, moving past anything that's been limiting or self-limiting beliefs, and getting to the heart, and I'm using that word intentionally, the heart of what we want to transform within ourselves as we level up in matters of the heart and relationship. Okay, so this may carry the experience of, or a sensation of, a heart opening. And if you've ever had that where you feel like your heart is cracked open, it's just as emotional as when your heart is broken, right? It's just as emotional. It's just as intense. So lots of emotions as the remnants of past wounds rise to the surface and are healed and released, and new understandings around the giving and receiving of love take that place. Right? Fill that void. So that's a lot, I know, but I wanted to give it all to you so that you can kind of go back, look at your own natal chart. I'm going to do a little reading for the collective now. Doesn't matter what sign you are. You can be here as a masculine, you can be here as a feminine. It doesn't matter. Just take it as it resonates. Where are we as a collective in this community we are sharing together? Okay, so that's what I want to do. Now, for the extended, I will go all around the zodiac, but it's going to be a little different. I will go for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, since Mercury's there too, as well as the house. So it'll be Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, and first house. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, second house, so that you can also check your house placement for how this particular conjunction may impact you, especially from the perspective of giving and receiving of love, understandings or misunderstandings. You get it. Okay, so where are we starting here? Eight of Pentacles. All right, we're focused, we're determined. I like the Eight of Pentacles in this deck because you see she's at her art table. She's working, she's focusing on details, creative solutions to problems, right? So I'm feeling that's really good. It's very practical, very grounded. What's challenging that? Nine of Wands, we're exhausted. Okay, so the Nine of Wands is interesting because as the challenge position here, normally it would be crossing, right? As the challenge position, it's saying, can we just push forth that, one little step further? Something we've been trying to work through, trying to maybe even solve for a problem. It's been quite a journey, quite exhausting, quite stressful. Do we have anything left in the tank to keep moving forward? In unconscious awareness, we have the Page of Pentacles. So outside of conscious awareness, the Page of Pentacles is talking about fresh starts, things we're learning, exactly what I just described. As these downloads come in, what do we do with them in the real world? What do we practically do with that knowledge and information, because it's a new environment or a new situation or new learning, and we have to apply it here in 3D. I'm loving that we're getting some pentacles here in the past. Page of Wands. Okay. Sometimes the Page of Wands is optimism and enthusiasm, and other times it's kind of shortcuts, right? It can show up in your life as someone who's just not as invested as you are. They're kind of in it for the minute. It's why it's got the reputation of player energy, this Page of Wands. So we'll see when I clarify what's in conscious awareness. There we are, King of Wands. I love to see the King of Wands here, because what it's basically talking to you about is, the energy of the King of Wands is about knowing what you want and claiming it. And it could be you, it could be your divine counterpart. It depends, again, if you're here as a feminine or a masculine, although that doesn't really matter in terms of gender. I always like to say that. But notice we go from this page and we land here on the King. So it's talking about an up-leveling. In the future, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. I kind of like that because it's talking about the future, about longevity, about legacy, about how you perceive life partnership going forward. And then I'm just going to pull 3 cards here to get a feeling before I start to clarify. Nine of Swords, the Fool, and the Five of Cups. Well, that Five of Cups there is the disappointment, is the pain, right? We've got Mercury opposing Chiron, so we're watching all the heartache, all the past pain go down the drain, right? It does feel like there's loss there that we have to sort of contend with, wanting to leap in a new direction. I love the Fool being there. And the Nine of Swords is sort of indicating that it's something that, you know, is preoccupying our minds. It's causing some stress, some worry. We've got these two nines here, which can be very challenging energy, but please know the beauty of these two cards is the next cards out are tens. The end of that difficulty, the end of the painful cycle, the end of the burden that we've been carrying, the struggle that we've been enduring. So I like to see the two nines, and then the Fool breaks free. So really beautiful, and releases with this Fool. It's releasing that Five of Cups, is looking forward instead of in the past. I like it. Okay, so that's the general. Let's go ahead and clarify for some nuance here. Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. Ace of Pentacles, there's the Ten of Swords, Eight of Pentacles again. Yeah, I feel like this is what we're working on, what we're really, you know, the exhaustion and the challenge with this Nine of Wands is, can we make it and kind of clear out that painful cycle? That's what we're working on. We're working on the healing, actually, so that we can have this brand new beginning, some up leveling here. The Ace of Pentacles, to me, in this position, I feel like I'm looking at it right there in the Ten of Pentacles. It's where we begin to sort of get very solid and very concrete about how we're moving forward and what it is we're trying to accomplish in relationship, but also for ourselves, our own stability. Ace of Pentacles can often be an offer as well, so we'll see what comes through when we get to the extended. Here in the unconscious awareness, we've got the Page of Pentacles. There's, right? Okay, so it's like you can't do anything with this new information yet. It's like the Hanged Man. Everything's sort of up in the air. We're taking that 30,000-foot view. We're waiting for the enlightenment. You can see the nimbus around his head, that orb, that glowing energy of the downloads coming in from Venus and the sun. And I love this because it is Pisces energy, and I was talking about the impact on air and water signs. But I feel like this new information is coming in, and we kind of have to just sort of be open to receiving it, understand that it's not the moment to take action, use that information for the healing I just described. Yeah, really beautiful. And then we contemplate communication, right? Everything that's happening here in Libra also focuses on communication in relationships as well. It's air energy. And as I said, Mercury is there in Libra, so that kind of gives us a double dose of the need for healing and communication. Let's look in the past. We have this Page of Wands. Can't make it up, guys. Oh, I love what you're doing here. Page and the King, just like I said. No more Page energy. I feel like that's part of the past. Right, we had a Tower moment. And definitely on some level, needing or wanting some kind of message of love or apology, something sincere from the heart. I absolutely feel like the King of Wands, regardless of sign, represents that the object of our desire. Wands is about passion and desire, and how things just blew sky high, and maybe it just we weren't on the same page, or someone's intentions were not as future focused as ours might be. Let me just say it that way, since I see we're Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Wands to the King of Wands. Big difference. So I'm feeling like there might have been some need for some more tenderness or sincerity, or even just a kind word sometimes. But it feels with that Tower like it was a pretty serious setback for many. King of Wands in conscious awareness. Lovers. Knight of Wands. The World. yeah, kind of sorting through this, if this person returns, what do we do? Right? The Lovers is the reunion of souls, of the twins. It's love. It's something we have to choose every single day. I was saying that in some of the past series of readings I did, especially the Morning Musings, where it kind of came up a lot, and the Lovers kept showing up, and I was like, it's not just about choosing the connection. It's about choosing love in all aspects of our lives. We can look at things, like I say, with rose-colored glasses on, and that's self-deceptive. But we can also look at situations and try to find, from the most loving perspective we can muster up, that's the choice we have to make every day. We have to choose love every single day. That's the message that's been coming through in almost all the readings I've done. And here, if this person returns, is it something that we even want? Is this the choice we're going to make? And the world is endings and new beginnings. So underneath there, in the unconscious realm, we're contemplating the closing out of a difficult cycle and someone returning possibly, but will they return to stay? That's the question. So choosing it is one half the battle. The other half the battle is they have to choose it too. So going forward to the Ten of Pentacles in the future. Yeah, future for the past life soulmate, Six of Cups, the warmth, the comfort, the nostalgia. I actually see that in both the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. There's the Nine of Wands. That's what we're hanging on for. And then we've got the Strength card. And Strength card is perseverance, overcoming obstacles. The Nine of Wands is also perseverance. There we have it. If we want a future in this partnership with the past life soulmate, with the twin, whatever label you ascribe to it, if we want that, can we keep pushing forward? Can we keep overcoming obstacle after obstacle, setback after setback? And that's why the Lovers is showing up as a choice. So keep that in mind. You can opt out. That's really up to you. So now I'm going to look at the Nine of Swords, the Fool, and the Five of Cups. Yeah, so the worry is about some continued conflict. Nine of Swords, sort of reflecting, almost obsessed adjacent, as I like to say, right? Something that runs on a loop in your mind that you kind of can't get away from. Feeling that conflict, and for some of you, maybe even some competition if there's third-party energy that Five of Wands can represent. Conflict coming from an outside source or a competitor, as we say. Let's look at the Fool. Boom, higher self. Hierophant is the energy of conventional committed relationship, but it's about our beliefs around such, right? What is our belief structure? What does it look like? What does it mean? And where do we operate at our highest level? Where are we coming from our highest self when it comes to matters of commitment here in 3D? So the Fool is sort of taking this leap towards commitment. There may be worry about the conflict there. Here I'm getting the Fool again. So a little sandwich there with the Hierophant and the Fool. I think it's about taking a leap anyway. Underneath was the Six of Wands. So that's about reconciling differences, making peace, and finding a win-win outcome. But there's some inherent risk in that. The Fool there twice, both times from the top of the deck. It's your conscious awareness that, love is a risk, relationship is a risk. If you want commitment, Hierophant, and a future Ten of Pentacles with this person, that's what you're persevering for. You also have to understand you're assuming a certain amount of risk. Five of Cups. Yeah. Letting go, right? Because I said the next card out would be from the Nine of Wands, would be the 10. Offloading the negative karma, releasing the past wounds, the past disappointments, the sadness, the grief, the sorrow. That's that tension that I mentioned between Mercury and Chiron as of this moment, as I'm recording this. So very interesting reading for all of us. I'm going to tell you the astrology, but as I said, there is an extended where I go all around the zodiac. The link to that is below. It should be time-stamped, but you will need to copy and paste the timestamp from the description box at the point of purchase, because there's no way to create the little markers on that platform that I use. So just copy and paste it into your notes, and that way you can just jump to whatever sign you want to watch. And don't forget, I'll be including the houses, so that's new and different. Here's who showed up. We've got the Hanged Man is Pisces, King of Wands out twice, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The Tower is Aries. Lovers is Gemini. Knight of Wands is Sagittarian energy. The World is Capricorn and Aquarius. That's a card of Saturn. Leo in the Strength card. The Fool is out twice, more Aquarian energy. Hierophant is Taurus. So that's what we have. The link to the extended is below. Don't forget about the timestamps. I'll see you there in a second. Bye for now.